to take it at the end, to be honest. I mean, Zan was creeping back into that game so quickly, and then all of a sudden, just door closed, and Mikey was able to pull it away. Oh, look at Ryan rocking his bounty mat that he jacked from somebody.
Yep. I have to see who he got it from. I believe he got it from
Jack, I think, right?
I want to say it might have been Jack. I got to double check.
Yeah, I think it was Jack.
And people, so funny enough, Hayden, I was out there. Hayden's like, so Gabe, this means that if I beat Ryan, I get the bounty. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, that's not how that works.
Yeah,
So this is Ryan's mat. Ryan will not be putting it up for grabs. Although I'll tell you, that might be a cool idea for maybe the next tournament.
Yeah, maybe we have like a mat, and then like that mat gets cycled around, and then whoever ends up at the end with the mat wins it.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Maybe an idea for a future event. But for now, Ryan will get to hang on to his bounty mat. So congratulations, Ryan. It's a beautiful mat. I hope you enjoy it. And we will get started here as we both start with Chernabog. And Hayden's on red purple, and that's a fan favorite deck, I think.
Yes,
it used to be like the enemy, like people hated red purple,
yeah.
And then now it's somehow become like the face, right? It was like a heel deck.
Yeah, it's like John Cena.
Yeah,
people hated it, and then it went away for a long time, and then it came back, and then people liked it.
Yeah, for my wrestling peeps, it was like it was the bad guy, but then now it's the face. Like people like red purple again because it's fun.
Yeah, and what we're seeing from Hayden's side, Hayden's doing the thing that Ruby Amethyst decks generally do, and that is put out characters early. That their whole point is maybe I quest one time, maybe I quest two times, but eventually this will turn into a fresh card in my hand.
Mm-hmm, absolutely, and double one drops on turn 2 is definitely a great way to start here, as we have wide aggression. All these cards, as you mentioned, do draw us more cards, so both players starting off with a healthy way to draw some cards. And we see the lamp, which we're very familiar with. If you were here for last round, you know exactly what this card does.
Yep.
And
Ryan is indicating very heavily, I mean, the heaviest that you can indicate, that this is very clearly a Jafar wheel deck.
Yep. And Hayden just double checking the text on that, making sure he understands it.
Yeah.
And thinks about his next turn here, as we would imagine either a Jafar or a Genie will be making its debut pretty quickly here, pretty soon.
And I do want to do a quick shout. I don't know if we had a chance to do this yet, but I want to give a quick shout out to those of you that are watching us on stream. We're viewable across multiple platforms. We're on X, we're on Twitch, and I believe we're on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Across all three streams, we've broken 500 viewers, by the way.
Amazing.
So thank you all. I mean, we're only in round 4. Like, generally speaking, as we move forward, it tends to get busier. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out with us. Thanks for those of you that are not maybe partaking in set champs today, deciding to spend some time with us, or maybe you're sitting in set champs right now and you're going, why am I not playing a Blurple Jafar?
Somebody's sleeving up Croquet Mallet as we speak right
Croquet now. Mallet. Somebody check TCG player, because Croquet Mallet, I feel like might be on the rise.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's really it's been a fun tournament so far, and I love seeing some wacky, fun stuff get added to the mix. It's always a good time.
Oh, absolutely.
So we go over to Ryan here, as Ryan figures out how he's going to deal with all this stuff on the table here. We got Pan that joined the table last turn from Hayden, and Pan's been a very big inclusion that I'm surprised we haven't seen more of today.
I know.
Pan Iago has been a combo that I've been seeing in a lot of purple decks, and just the power of being able to make a Iago with Rush.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wanted to say Diablo, but Iago is the other bird.
And if I see Iago, I'm gonna giggle, because I love Iago's my favorite card. This format, Iago's been so much fun, a lot of fun to play. It's like a baby. It's like a baby Maui hero to all. The Ruby Amethyst decks, there's an identity. I don't want to call it a crisis, but there's currently an identity philosophy. There's really two ways that you can build Ruby Amethyst. There's either this evasive builds that's been popular, that uses the Peter Pan Shadow Finder. It uses the Maui half shark. Tries to capitalize on that game plan, and then the tried and true, like the bounce control, capitalizes on Madam Mims, snakes, and foxes. And then, of course, like the heavy end removal, things like Madame Medusa, Lady Tremaine, Sisu.
Interesting.
Oh, is that a Cogsworth that I just
said? A one-drop Cogsworth. Yeah, something you can just slam in and get some evasive going. That's pretty cool. I like that.
I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, absolutely. As we see these one-drop characters that normally draw 1, draw 2 because of that fantastic, beautiful gift to Bell, that library.
Library, pretty good here, as it draws 2 cards here for Hayden, at the cost of nothing, essentially just questing, getting a lore and 2 cards.
Yes.
And then the rest of these characters will be going in as very little downside to these Diablos biting the dust here. They will give him some more cards. So
absolutely,
Hayden goes up to 5.
Yeah, I mean, there is incentive to get rid of them while they're not in the library, because that 1 turns to 2 if they go to the library.
Oh,
so
for sure.
Incentive to get rid of them, which also means an incentive not to quest for Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Hayden trying to take advantage of the board state as it exists right now, and we'll see if he's able to hold on to this control.
Yeah, we see Jafar at the front of Ryan's hand here, which acts as a mini crab and would be able to pump up this bird big enough to allow him and the Turnabog to trade into both birds. And then he's got 2 Jafar lamps or 2 lamps in play. So if he really wants to draw 4 off the Jafar, he could. Chooses not to attack the bird here, and instead chooses to just go ahead and quest and draw himself a card.
Yeah, and we see a Jafar. This is a cool Jafar. Is this the one that gives challenger?
Yeah, that's a challenger one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
he gives plus 3 challenge.
I believe we
plus
call
2
it
challenger.
Crab at home, right? This is Crab at home. No, this is actually aspiring ruler. That's the name. Yes, it's called aspiring ruler. And when you play this character, chosen character gains challenger plus 2 this turn. Very cool. And it quests for 2. That's really crazy.
This seems to be the deal here. I think we had a judge rule on something here.
Maybe. Oh, I missed something. What did I miss?
I don't know. You were explaining Jafar. I think he had the Diablo in a discard and then he put it back in play. I'm not sure if we missed something here. It's hard to hear what happened. Judge call. Yeah, there's a judge call. Okay, yeah.
So we'll hang tight. They're figuring something out.
So the judge is handling it here.
Yeah. So what you're seeing happening on screen here? Oh, there was a hidden information error. So something got revealed that shouldn't have been revealed, and we're making sure that.
I think he drew a card off the Diablo and he wasn't supposed to. So now he has to put a random card back on top of the deck and shuffle it. I think that's what they're doing. Yeah. And you could see Ryan not happy about that mistake there, as he's shaking his head and hoping that the card that he's having to put back is not a big part of his game plan here.
Yeah.
I think what happened, I missed, I'd have to see the play again, but I think what happened was he thought he was trading in the other Diablo, but I don't know what happened. Oh, because Diablo wouldn't die. That's what it is. So he used the Diablo to attack into Diablo, but Diablo would... Yeah. So he thought it was banished. He put it in the discard pile and drew a card. However, it does not take damage back. Therefore, it should have stayed in play. I understand now. Okay. Sorry, it's just when you're commentating, I have 15 screens open and the game.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm catching exactly what happened there. But yeah, it does seem to be an issue where Ryan accidentally banished his own thing and it was not supposed to be banished. So Ryan will have to pay the price here and lose a random card. Hopefully, again, not too much of a deal for him, but definitely something to keep an eye on if it does affect his game.
Absolutely, yeah, certainly. And then we might learn more about what card it was if Ryan remembers what it is. So yeah, we'll get it figured out there. So
for sure. All right, and let me see here. Yeah, I'm looking through chat now. Yeah, everybody's saying the same. Yeah, same. What's going on, Earl Meister in the chat? What's going on? Nice to see you. Thank you guys for hanging with us.
Yeah, hey, Earl Meister, what's going on, bud?
All right, so back into the game here.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
All right, so we got this Jafar here, right? And we got these 2 lamps here, right?
Yes, I like lamp, actually.
Lamp is, like you're like a moth. It's like a...
I like lamp.
Is that like lamp. That the lamp thing?
It is.
All right, so let's see. Okay, we're thinking about a fox here in the inkwell. We're getting real close to Maui half shark being able to haste in here.
Yeah,
or to rush in here rather.
Exactly. Yeah, Maui half shark with rush is a serious problem. Opting to move the Peter Pan to the library. So at least if you lose the Peter Pan, if you lose the thing that would give the half shark the rush, you get a little consolation prize. You get to draw a card. I can't complain about that.
For sure.
As we see Smee entering Ryan's hand, and Smee exiting Ryan's hand as it becomes ink potentially. Yep, Smee came in and left and said, actually, I'm going to go ahead and be one of these shadows. Ooh. Oh, it is here, folks.
We're going to draw some cards now.
It is time to draw because I thought that was going to be a wheel. I thought that was a wheel for a second.
Oh my god! But it is friends.
It's friends. It's still not great. It's still bad
and
for
Hayden. He still has 2 Jafar. He still has lamps in play.
Oh, he does have lamps, and he's going to pop them both.
I'm going to draw 4 game 4.
Yeah. So that was 6 cards, which is 6 lore this turn so far. Added to the one that he already had.
No, 7. 2, 4, 6, and then the 1 Jafar that he quested with. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow, it's a lot of lore, and a lot of cards in Ryan's hand as he refills. And now look at them. I mean, look at the hand he's got there. My
Yo,
goodness.
that is wild. That
And
is
red
wild.
purple does not have a way to, discard your hand or whole new world your hand or anything. So those cards are Ryan's to keep.
Yep.
And Ryan cannot be feeling bad about that one as he quests in for an extra one with the Diablo and passes it back. And now we have a big threat in play that definitely needs to be addressed. Thankfully, we know that there is a Maui shark on the horizon, and that does trade really nicely with this Jafar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, while Hayden can do very little about the hand, he can do a lot of things about this Jafar.
Oh yeah,
a lot of things. In fact, here it comes, and this might be the catalyst. This can start off the crazy train that Hayden's about to go on in terms of bringing back action, starting getting that lore for playing those actions, all that kind of stuff. As we see that the shark, as you said, trades nicely because it gets to live.
Yep, it stays alive. And I saw Hayden also playing the Moana in his deck that plays that gives another character with rush +3, like it's like a challenger Moana rush.
So the Moana is when it challenges a character,
it gives
you give another
challenge.
character +3 attack for the turn.
Yeah, so he is playing that, which is really cool. So we really have a lot of answers to evasives.
Yes. Yeah, which is good. And we know that Diablo is kind of like the enemy of the season, but it deals with so many things so effectively as the shark takes the time to go ahead and swim itself over to the library just in case it gets dealt with. It gets to draw extra cards.
Okay, it looks like he thought about putting it in there, but
or not. Okay, I take all that back. All that flourish I gave you, just snatch it from me.
It looked like he was swimming over to the library. Oh, not enough ink.
Oh, we're short an ink. Yeah, sorry.
Not enough ink.
We're trying to get a free library move, but we can't. So there you go.
All right. So back in Ryan's court here, as he's got a lot to think about. We have a Maui shark in play. We have Pan Shadow and Fox in a library, and a whole lot of cards in Hayden's hands. So Ryan really going to have to put this together. He does thankfully have a ton of cards in hand, but he did have to lose that Jafar, which is unfortunate.
He did. Now the Pan trading for the shark is a very good value.
Yeah, it's almost like a brawl, right?
Yeah.
It's like a brawl on your shark. So
exactly,
not terrible.
And we've followed up that quasi brawl with a Smee and a Robin Hood on our side. And so what we've got is, of course, a Diablo that just needs to keep questing until you deal with it. But in terms of board state, Ryan is looking okay. I mean, nothing too much, nothing too crazy. We see Hayden with a library. You got 2 characters in the library. We do see some other characters in hand.
And Queen of Hearts, which is not going to do us too much at the moment. No, but
not particularly.
Yeah.
We see, yep. So, in agreement with you, Skinner. Therefore, the Queen of Hearts gets to become ink to play
big Ursula.
The Sea Witch. Oh, that is kind of spicy in this build. Okay. I like it. I like it.
Red purple with, I guess, looking for a way to deal with Amber Steel, the rise of Amber Steel, and just steel in general. I mean, really green steel and otherwise. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would have assumed Steel Song would have been more prevalent in the meta here. We saw that list at the beginning of round 2, and we know that Steel Song is around. It's one of the top 5, but it's not top 1. So yeah, like, is this a good inclusion? Was this a good meta call? I guess we'll find out from Hayden one way or the other.
For sure. All right, so we are back on Ryan here as Ryan deciding how he wants to proceed with his turn. Like I said, he does have a lot of cards in hand. I see a Zeus at the front there, which does do 5 damage to something here. However, Ursula, it's got 7 defense, and if you do take out something in the library, you are going to risk giving cards to Hayden. He could choose to Zeus the library, however, then he leaves 3 characters in play. So, like I said, a lot of options here for Ryan, depending on how he wants to approach this. He does decide to just take out the library, or rather start to take out the library. I'm sure there will be something here to finish.
Yeah, you would think so. We're inking, of course, to... okay, we shifted that little Robin Hood into the big Robin Hood. And it's a enchanted one at that, so we do love to see it. As Mr. Smee is deciding to take out the library, coming in here and just pillaging that library, saying, these books, who likes to read? Reading is for losers.
That's it. And Robin Hood comes in and cleans up the Fox, which would pull 4 damage on the Robin Hood, but gets 2 lore for Ryan. And Ryan will come in for another 1 here. Yeah. So tables are pretty close here. I mean, Hayden does have 4 lore in play, which is really tough considering you got to imagine he's playing goats.
Yeah.
So it's a really scary position for Ryan to be in right now.
Yeah, the Sea Witch Queen also does something interesting too. Like it forces Ryan to be less patient because when you quest with the Sea Witch Queen, you get to choose to exert a character of your choice.
Mm-hmm.
So why not just get the most advantage of it? Just turn your character sideways, anyways. What Sea Witch Queen ultimately does. So that's an interesting thing that we may not be giving enough credence to, as that may have influenced Ryan's decision pretty heavily.
For sure, yeah. I'm guessing we don't have goat bounce because we would have likely seen it very quickly.
There's that
We
Moana.
do have this Moana, which does have rush because she is evasive.
And that's a big deal because that 4 can clear something. Then we can give +3 to Peter Pan, which is exactly what's happening. So now the Peter Pan is much higher value, can take out something else if it needed to. But yeah, there you go.
Okay,
all right.
Yeah, he's just playing it safe here.
Yeah, playing it safe.
Although he could have quested up, he decides, you know what, let me just keep you from winning the game, and then I'll eventually get there. But yep,
Ooh,
plays himself
rabbit.
a rabbit, which is another great play here, drawing himself a deeper card. And I'm assuming this Ursula is going to get in for 3. Yep, she sure is.
Ursula will, in fact, get in where she can fit in, and so she takes 3 for that.
So we'll go to 17 here, and Hayden in a pretty good spot. Ryan obviously does have a lot of burst as well with things like Jafar, Wheel, but right now just a lonely Diablo, which is just not really gonna get him where he needs to be, as Hayden is looking like he's very close to victory here. But
yeah. I mean,
nothing's settled yet. But
no.
I mean, it's looking like Hayden might have it in the bag here.
Yeah, Ryan is for. Yeah. Oh no, yeah, right. I was going to say Ryan's got to have very specific cards to be able to deal with his board state, and Ryan's basically saying, look, let's just save the time. Let's make sure we can get. If I need to get in the third game, which Ryan will be hoping for a third game at this point. Making sure you have time to do that third game. So I think it's a good call here
for sure. Yeah, shout out to Hayden for great performance there. And these evasives are tricky, right? Like Ryan does have obviously the big bomb evasive Jafar, but Hayden with just so many ways to clear it. Having Pan to give rush to so many different evasives and Moana and whatnot. So it's going to be a tough matchup. This is Hayden's deck is part of the reason why I've had to stop playing Diablo.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just
Thanks
so
a
many.
Lot, Hayden.
Yeah, there's just it's not Hayden in general, but Hayden's deck is something that I've run into quite a lot lately.
It's
and
Hayden specifically.
Man, it makes it so difficult when you're trying to play a Diablo and your opponent just plays so many evasives, and then if you do sit around and wait, then they eventually just drop Maui Shark on you, and then it's like, what are you supposed to do?
What do you do about that?
It's tough.
100%. It's tough, and it's funny because Ryan was in a position to basically run away with it, and having that rush half shark was a big deal in this game.
Oh yeah,
the rush evasives, because Peter Pan's existence in general was a huge tempo swing for Hayden to win this game. So if not for Peter Pan giving that rush to all the evasive characters, if not for having the evasive characters to take advantage of the board state, this would have been, I strongly believe, would have been a game that we've chalked away to Ryan.
Yeah, Peter Pan just putting in work, right? Like he didn't come down on turn 3 and rush into anything. He just kind of hung out, and then the next turn was able to sing friends. So, essentially getting him 2 free cards, and then the rest of that game just provided rush to a plethora of characters that were able to just come down and do work immediately. So yeah, Pan continues to be a really, really strong inclusion. I didn't see any Iagos being played by Hayden. I haven't seen a single Iago today, actually. I'm very sad about that. All right. I haven't seen a single one, but I would imagine Hayden probably playing at least a couple copies if I had to guess, but who knows? Maybe he's not.
I've seen versions of Ruby Amethyst that is running Peter Pan that does or does. I've seen some versions that run it. I've seen versions that run Moana exclusively and not it. And I've seen versions that have done both Moana and Iago because they're both the same cost. They both cost 4. And so there's like a decision right now out there when it comes to this build. Do we split the difference? Do we give it all to one card? So it's like a 50-50 if you'll see Iago or not.
For sure. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't see any yet, but maybe he'll make his debut. We'll find out.
I hope so, because I do love that silly spectral bird.
So Ryan going to start us off this time as he goes in there with the Diablo and passes it back. I'm going to see if Ryan's able to piece together a whole new world this game. And we did see Jafar with double lamp last game and a friends, which was a really awesome turn. But then it didn't really amount to anything, right? Ryan had a million cards in hand, but just could not stop Hayden from trucking along. So it's going to be interesting to see if Ryan's able to put a stop in his game plan, as he does play a turn 2 lamp here yet again, setting himself up for the future.
Yeah,
and gets it for 1 with Diablo.
It's funny because the biggest complaint people will generally have about Ruby Amethyst is it's too fair. What just happened?
Hayden said, like, can I read that again, dude? I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
like, can I read that twice? He's like, you already read it last game, but I want to read it again.
Let me make sure. Let's just,
Yeah, you don't see it that often, right? I mean, it's been a lot of decks lately. Thanks to Zan, it has been popping up, and Mikey and these guys that are putting Lamp in their deck. But yeah, it's definitely a strong card that, surprised that it's weird that these cards kind of live in the game for so long, and then nobody plays with them, and then all of a sudden somebody's like, yo, this card's nuts.
Yeah.
And then everybody's playing it, even though it's been in the game forever. Like, it's just so weird. But
yeah,
Lamp's a crazy card. Lamp's a crazy card, especially in Jafar, and when you have Jafar and Genie. I mean, it's just pretty crazy.
It is crazy. We do love that Lamp, and we are seeing Ryan's going to ink it. You're into Ryan's turn. Ryan inked. Ryan played that Aspiring Ruler Jafar, which, again, great card. Especially in this build, I'd argue that it, along with Crab, is a pretty good time.
Yep.
Can deal with things like locations. Like if you think about the role that Maui plays in Ruby, being able to stack up your plus attacks on characters gives you that same capability, but you still get all the cool benefits of the color that you just chose, in this case, steel.
Yeah, and also he quests for 2, right? That's not to be ignored. I mean,
absolutely.
He does have 2 toughness, which is a little more susceptible to removal, but being able to be, number 1, be a Jafar, which means he can be quested on or have interaction with Lamp and all these things. And, just having 2 lore and, although providing 1 less challenger than the Crab, doing a pretty good impression. So, yeah, Jafar, I really like this card. I think this card is, a little overlooked because we have Crab. But I think in a situation, especially in this kind of deck, it's actually a pretty decent card.
Yeah, and we see Genie coming down. Genie, of course, is popular for being one of the primary members of the Genie Wars,
right?
That we'll be talking about for a bit. Something else that I wanted to point out here: Library came down pretty early. Library was a big piece of the puzzle for Hayden. Scoring that one point so every so often. Didn't draw so many cards from it last game. Drew a couple cards, not a lot of cards, as a result of it, but. That library, it was a menace last game here, and it looks like Hayden's hoping to have a repeat of the value that he got from that library.
Yeah, I'm curious here. I think Ryan's racking his brain whether or not he wants to pop the Lamp here. If you pop the Lamp, you do get to draw 2 cards and bounce the Cusco, but you could wait around for a couple things. Yeah, he looks like he's gonna keep it. Play some patience here.
Yeah.
If he does manage to shift, obviously he could get some extra draws or some extra lore off the draws.
Exactly.
Plus, if Hayden does run out a character such as a Genie or something, that Lamp will get tons of value being able to bounce back the Genie. I guess, Ryan just not seeing the value of bouncing this Cusco right now is not a threat.
Yeah.
So I'm just deciding to be a little more disciplined and hang on to that Lamp, not choosing to claim his wishes quite yet.
Yeah, and you have to pick and choose your battles. However, there's an alternate side of this to consider. Putting, effectively emptying this board, whether Cusco or not, it puts you so far behind, from Hayden's perspective, that Ryan may want to do it even in that case. Hayden does have ways out. Hayden has the Peter Pan, and with enough ink, Peter Pan allows you to bring out a second character that suddenly can rush. But that's later. Right now, Ryan probably I think that he should have went ahead and pushed that Cusco back to hand, gotten that value right away, and then continued forward. Now we'll see if we get that value. We'll see if Ryan actually capitalizes with his strategy in terms of being more patient.
Okay.
He's here. Everybody, watch out.
And there's the Jafar we spoke about. So yeah, great patience.
Oh, he got it.
Oh, baby.
That is 7.
Oh, baby, a triple.
That is 7 lore, 7 fresh cards, and we know the Lamp is sitting there. So we're gonna go up 9 lore total for this turn alone, not counting the questing.
Fun side story for you there, Gabe. My first DLC, my only DLC, was DLC Atlanta, the very first one. And my opponent was at 6 in round 3, and he went to 20 with wheel into wheel off Jafar to just crush me in the tournament. So I have personal PTSD with Jafar, and it's pretty abysmal. He had 5 ink up, he sings it, draws 7, and then he just plays the other one hard cast and gains 14 in 1 turn. So Jafar, definitely something that you cannot ignore. He's just getting all the value here. We still have Lamp in play. Jafar just shifted. We're going to be doing stuff. We're going to bounce stuff. Yeah, that's getting bounced. We're drawing cards. Yeah, this is a good spot for Ryan here. He's feeling real comfortable and looking much better than game one.
Yeah, there's just no way I think Hayden reclaims this game. I think this game's over.
I mean, we do play Be Prepared, right? I wouldn't say don't say never ever, but Ryan definitely in a dominant position here, considering that he just got 7 new cards, and I mean Hayden holding 150 cards in his hand right now. But are any of them going to help him?
Yeah. Do they do a thing that deals with an evasive or another evasive that keeps getting lore every time you draw a card? Or you can deal with the Diablo, but then you draw a card, so there's just so many. There's so many things now that Ryan has the ability to do. Ryan can sing anything in his hand because he's got that Jafar shift out. Hayden bringing out a Diablo, bringing out a Chernobog like it's turn 2, choosing to play another Diablo, just trying to gain, just putting presence on the board, putting characters on the board. Each one of these characters offering a way for Hayden to draw cards.
No, Hayden says no. Hayden, see, I respect that. Hayden says, you know what, this game's chalked. Like, I'm so far behind. Let me not kill any more time here. We got 23 minutes to play. I'm on the play next game. Just let's go ahead and restart here. And I think it's a good call by Hayden. Although he could have maybe grinded his way back. Ryan was just in such a dominant position and so ahead on tempo. Just being able to bounce things back and draw cards and gain lore, and we don't have an immediate answer to that Jafar. So I mean, it was pretty much the writing on the wall. So Hayden just says, "I'll scoop it up and let's go again." So we'll go to game 3.
By the way, I think we found your mortal enemy in the chat. Somebody's saying that they did that to someone at Atlanta, and their name is Bubble Man. Does this name sound familiar to you?
It might have been. I remember it was somebody with a beard. Okay. I don't know if he was a Bubble Man, but I did that to 2 people in Atlanta. Bubble Man. It might be you, Bubble Man.
Yeah.
You might. Did you play against Mike Skinner? Do you remember? You probably wouldn't remember. I'm a nobody, but it might have been you, Mr. Bubble. So if it was you, you're living in my nightmares.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't you, you could just pretend there was anyway, because I wouldn't know.
Go into your Melee history, check the DLC Atlanta. What was it, 1st to 20? What would you?
Yeah, it would have been Skinner. I'm big tobacco in Melee, and I'm a big guy with a beard. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, we found him. FBI, send them in, FBI. We found him.
I'm pretty sure Mr. Bubble is is the man of my nightmares.
Bubble Man, you're my hero. Thank you for crushing this man's dreams.
Yeah, he hit me with the double wheel, and then he's like, all right, GG's. I'm like, all right, GG's.
I love how small the world is that we found them. We found them in the chat, folks.
Yep. So Bubbles, shout out to you if it indeed was you. It sounds like you would be. Yeah. It would be you, but yeah, it's funny story.
Yeah, don't listen. You'll get an opportunity to reclaim that karma.
No, it's okay. He was the nicest guy. I couldn't even be mad. Like, he was so cool. But yeah, it was pretty devastating when somebody hits you for 14 in one turn. You're like, all right. I guess I just lose.
Yeah. Listen, if it was, I'd be like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and just dump my deck I'm gonna go jump on this plane, dump my deck in the garbage, and we'll figure it out later.
That's how I felt, but it's okay. But we made it. All right, we get some fist bumps with Hayden and Ryan. We move into game 3.
There we go.
And let's see here. We got Mr. Keepers into a Chernobog, and we'll pass it back.
Yeah, which
sorry, these microphones are very sensitive. So every time I scratch my beard, you can guys hear that?
Yeah, when I scratch my beard,
does that make you guys uncomfortable?
Here, listen closely.
Anything I do with my mouth or my lips, don't do that, please. please don't do that ever again in my ears. Thank you.
For those of you that enjoy ASMR, please in the chat let us know you'd like us to do more of that.
No more beard scratch ASMR, please. I'm sorry, guys, if you hear any extra.
Look here, just a little bit more.
There you go. Thank you.
Cool.
Appreciate it. Get out of your system.
All
right, so we have this Queen of Hearts. Very interesting choice. I know some people are high on this card, some people are low on this card. Really good crab target, right? So it swings in as a 4/4 when you play crab, and then if it survives, it sticks around as a 4/4, right? Or rather a 4/1 or whatever the toughness is, because it has damage on it, but it has 4 powers by point. So interesting card that does allow the card to trade into multiple things. Oh, we got Jafar here.
Ooh, there we go.
This is a Jafar that can attack into evasives.
Yep.
And we haven't seen this one in play yet, but it is yet another way for the lamp to draw some cards.
Yeah, and of note, I mean, if this deck, the deck that Ryan's playing, of course, was, as JDZ talked about, the Lucky Llama event. This thing won that, so we anticipated seeing some folks playing this, and this is a fantastic answer to something like a Diablo. So we talked earlier about Diablo kind of being not safe for this format. And that Jafar is just another prime example of why Diablo is just not safe.
Yep, there's just a million ways to deal with Diablo, and although Diablo's still very strong, we saw Zan in the last game still being able to use Diablo to his advantage.
Absolutely.
But definitely the target is on its head for sure, as many people are playing advanced answers to evasives. Both these players rather, having answers to evasives in their deck. So yeah, it's tough. It's a tough world to be a bird right now. But let's see. As Ryan, I think he's going to go ahead and claim his card here as he draws himself one deeper.
Yeah, I mean that's what that's there for. We see a Pete show up as a result of that Chernobog's followers quest.
Okay, we can imagine our opponent next turn most likely playing a genie or so.
Yeah, and we can see it. We see in Ryan's hand the shift Jafar is sitting in there.
Yep,
and that shift Jafar is going to be scary because we see two friends in hand as well. So Ryan's got the heat to draw.
Oh yeah. Brian is he's got good cards in hand as well as Hayden. Both of them right now just kind of trying to set up here. Hayden gonna go ahead and crab for nothing. We're not gonna have any value on the crab, but we are gonna get in for 2. Right now, Hayden not playing anything super crazy, just playing like a bunch of efficient threats and just trying to get ahead on board here. Nothing super fancy.
Yeah.
No evasives, no super crazy combos, but just dudes that quest.
Yeah, dudes that turn sideways and get things.
Dudes and dudettes.
Yes, all of them. All of the Illumineers and all of the Glimmers.
All right, we're going to get a little song action here. So we're going to draw some cards.
Yeah.
2 new cards. And he does find himself yet another friends, which is always good.
That's not bad.
The more friends, the better, as they say.
The closer we get to that Jafar, the higher value that friends becomes. It puts Ryan in a position to be like, well, do I hold it for the Jafar? Do I need more tools right now? So it does put you in a position to think about it.
For sure.
If you've got nothing else to play on 3 and you got a friends in hand and not a body, friends is not a bad option to play. We like friends.
For sure. Yep. And this has definitely been a day of game 3s going down to the wire. I felt like the last set we watched Mikey pretty much have a one-sided game against Zan, and then Zan had a one-sided game against Mikey, and then we got a really good game 3.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And this seems to be kind of the same. Hayden pretty easily, dominated game 1. Ryan, pretty much dominated game 2, and now we get this back and forth, which I love to see. So could be anybody's game, as Ryan does add himself a genie to the board. We haven't seen any lamps yet, which would be really great with this Jafar and the genie.
Kidding. You're not kidding.
But it's okay. We have time. We have time to find the lamp.
Yeah.
We got to go into the Cave of Wonders and retrieve it.
We do. And Ryan just valuing that Jafar, knowing that shift is in hand, not putting it in danger, smart play. With Hayden, if he's going to get rid of that Jafar, the shift target will need to work harder than he may want to deal with it. But he will need to.
How do we not have a Cave of Wonders location?
Well, because we have the Treasure Guardian.
That doesn't count. He's just the guardian, but the cave is inside.
The cave itself, like the thing that's inside of the Treasure Guardian.
Yeah, like where all the treasure's at, and where the big ruby thing that a boot touches is, and that should be a location, guys. How do we get the snuggly duckling before we got the Cave of Wonders?
Maybe the next set can be themed to Aladdin. Maybe we'll call it something like Reign of Jafar, and maybe we'll get something like that. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows really? But just
Ravensburger.
Just thinking out loud here, guys.
Ravensburger, that was a free one from Scanner. Okay, so if y'all want to go ahead and put that in your set,
brother, we got the wall before we got Cave of Wonders.
First of all, don't be hitting on the wall.
All right,
okay. Please keep your wall slander to yourself.
The wall. And
I love the wall.
And the Badanon and like all these these things that the Cave of Wonders, guys, come on, or Agrabah or something. Well, I guess we did get Agrabah. We did get Agrabah. Yeah. All right, never mind. I got to take it back.
Yeah, you take it back now.
All right. So we pass things over as Ryan he's in the tank here. We do have an Elsa in play now, so we do have an evasive threat that could potentially be crabbed. So that's always something that you have to be, be a little cautious of.
And of note, I was talking about keeping that Jafar safe, and Ryan could not keep that Jafar safe. That Jafar was not long for the world. So we'll now need to either figure out a way to put another character that can be shifted upon to solve for the future turn, or we'll just need to wait, play that Jafar at its fair cost, and then the following turn do things to sing with it.
Yeah,
which is rough.
Ryan just needs more ink. Ryan's got so many. I mean, look at the hand. He's got so much stuff.
Yeah.
But like he can only do like one thing per turn, which I think is just like holding him back a bit here.
Yeah.
As I say that, he's going to go ahead and play this. What is he bouncing? Okay, he bounces back.
Which one was got? I missed the card that got bounced back.
Was it a Cusco? I might have missed it.
It might have been, but we do see the Fox come in. We are now at a neutral board state. Hayden sitting with 6, Ryan with 1. Nobody has characters on the table. Hayden's going to get an opportunity to respond and start putting characters. And Hayden says, "All right, well, let me start drawing. I'm going to put rabbits."
Yeah, Hayden doesn't look too happy with his draws. He's been kind of, frowning, not frowning, but like turning his head and stuff like that. I don't know if he's just not happy with what's going on here, but so far it's pretty even, back and forth. Both players are at pretty low lore totals. We got 14 minutes to grind this out, and pretty soon we'll be seeing an explosion one way or another. I'm sure.
Yeah. And Genie, of course, starting throwing lobs at this rabbit, saying, "Hey, I'm here now."
All right, let me see here. Let's do.
All right, and so
Somebody said the queen had no damage. Which queen was that? I don't know. Yeah. Not sure. Oh, okay. We're gonna draw 2 here. All right. Yeah, the fox should have lived. No strength. He bounced the crab. Crab is challenger. I'm not sure, guys. Sorry, we're not at the table, but I'm sure whatever's going on there, they will take it from there. As we pass things over to Hayden, who will ink himself a Finders Keepers. That's a fun card to say.
Yeah, Finders Keepers. So if you've seen Artabax's last Articast, they actually LD showed the German translation. So the German translation of Finders Keepers, when you retranslate it back into English, it's like, if you find it, then you will keep it. It's like this really long title of a card. It was so funny. It
Perfect.
If you find it, then you will keep it.
All right. So look, they're talking to or somebody's talking to somebody here. I don't know if they're talking to a judge or what.
Yeah,
they are talking to a judge about it. That there should be a fox in play. Yeah, the judge is trying to figure this out. Yeah. So yeah, good call from the chat, and thank you guys for catching it. And Hayden being a stand-up guy, just saying, hey, go ahead and keep your fox. Like, he's not giving him a hard time about it. But yeah, essentially the fox should not have been banished. So it is back in play.
All right, yeah, go.
So shout out to our team out there at the table for taking care of that for the integrity of the game here. Obviously, these mistakes happen, guys.
Yeah.
People are playing high stakes here. We are on camera. So these things can happen, but thankfully Hayden and Ryan both being really cool about it and just resolving it very quickly. So we'd love to see that.
Yeah, we do.
I would hate to see Ryan have to take another penalty, because he had to take a penalty earlier with the Diablo draw.
Oh, goodness
so
gracious,
he'd have another penalty there. So yeah, so very, very, I'd love to see the community being good sports about it. Obviously, it's not always like that.
Yeah, so. and you have to respect the want to beat your opponent at their best, right? Like making sure that the thing you lost to or the thing that you win to, it's for legitimate reasons. So sure. you got to trust that too. All right. That's why they're taking. Okay, so they may be taking a look.
All right, Andrew is the table judge, and I believe he is saying it's a little too far into the game. So
yeah, okay.
Although both players are cool with it, I think Andrew's just saying the game has progressed too far at this point, and we can't just go back.
Okay.
So I think that we will end up just keeping that fox banished. It's unfortunate, but the game has progressed to a point. You got to be careful with those things.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to challenger and all that, and damage, and you just got to know what your characters, how much strength they have and how much willpower they have. And, very easy to catch, or very easy to miss, rather, as considering that we both missed it. So,
yeah,
no shade on either player there, but yeah, Andrew, the head judge there at the table, does decide to just say it's been too long.
Yep.
So, Ryan will have to eat that one. Unfortunately, I'm sure he'll be kicking himself about it, but hopefully does not cost him in this situation here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to note if he loses by 1 lore or something to that effect. But either way, we're seeing a board state being garnered up here. We got a Pete, so no actions next turn. We've got that Jafar that gives a bonus challenger, and so we're seeing now just board state just existing here.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and ink and then just pass it back over. We don't see any lamp or anything like that, so so no crazy shenanigans off the Jafar and Genie quite yet. I'm sure Ryan would love to see a lamp right now, but yeah, I see people in chat, like I said, about the Fox. Yeah, it is something that's unfortunate, guys, but we can't reset the whole game, so these players do have to be just a little more on top of what's going on. But yeah, definitely an unfortunate miss here that we do hate to see. But all right, and we have a Maui Shark coming in and getting value off that Cogsworth. I wonder if that's just like a one of or two of that he just has there as yet another way to rush his characters if you don't have Pan in play.
I mean, Cogsworth is good. I mean,
oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah, Cogsworth basically says, "Hey, this your half shark is +1 cost to gain rush."
Right, and he comes from the hand, which is really nice because cards like Pan Shadow, or excuse me, I always want to say Pan Shadow, but Peter Pan needs to be in play. Your opponent can kind of see it, telegraph it. With the Cogsworth, it's just like a 1-2 punch. Like you just out of the sky, this shark comes from nowhere. So I think that's a really cool tech in there from Hayden, just to be able to provide rush to his shark or any other character in the deck for that matter. So yeah, really cool, and I really like that card. I think it's a great addition.
Yeah, and we see. Let's see here.
Oh, and we're singing with Pete, guys. We got to lock in here. All right, I think we need to get a judge on that one as well. Unfortunately, Stefan, if you can hear it, please before the game goes too far.
Before it goes too. In fact, if you can tell him to pause the play.
Stefan, can you hear us?
All right. Well, let's take a look here.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to catch it in time. Guys, sorry, we're in a different room.
Yeah.
So we're not able to just tap somebody on the shoulder, unfortunately. So we can only hope that, looks like we're just going to keep on moving through the game. So this game's a little bumpy, guys. A little bumpy, a little freestyle on this one. But, just do our best to continue on here.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll take that. Yep, you just got to be more careful. I know these guys are, like I said, when you're playing on camera and whatnot, can definitely get a little tricky and a little more nerve wracking. But we're gonna go ahead and take another action here as we play a lamp to the table. Lamp will get its full benefit if he so chooses, which will be able to bounce and draw cards. Obviously, we don't want to be bouncing the rabbit or the Cogsworth, so most likely bouncing the Diablo, but does that feel good at all? I don't think so. I mean, I guess we could bounce the rabbit here, but I mean that's just not great, right? That's just going to give him another card. All right.
Yeah, so we're seeing here just kind of thinking through where we stand here. We got Hayden sitting with 9, Ryan sitting with 3, kind of deciding where. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So it'll be Hayden's turn.
Hayden gonna quest for 3 here. Go up to 12. I haven't seen any goats or anything from Hayden yet. He didn't cut goat, right?
I mean, it's possible. I've seen this build without goat.
Yeah, that's something I just noticed. I remember last game when he was at 18 and we just never. Okay, he's playing Pirate's Life, so maybe he just doesn't play goat. That's a little crazy, but it wouldn't be the craziest thing I've seen. But B prep, we'll reset the board here. Hayden sitting at 12, Ryan at 3, and I don't know. Ryan is running low on cards here. He's got a big Jafar, and I don't think that's going to do much. We do have a Friends, which we can't even use this turn, or a Robin Hood. So yeah, unless this Friends, if the Jafar is really good, or we draw maybe a Whole New World, would be a massive draw. Maybe hard cast Friends next turn and pray for Whole New World.
I mean, that's ultimately what we're. I mean, when we're talking about playing to your outs, that's exactly what we'd be looking for. We do know that the lamp is there. We lamp is going to give another ability to dig if we can get to the Friends, if we can get to that Whole New World. Just so many ways to do it. Now, conversely, Hayden is playing a deck that has a lot of removal options. So, will we see things like potentially a Lady Tremaine? Will we see, maybe another Be maybe a Be Prepared or something else? But there's ways to deal with this. And let's see. Shark is definitely a way to shape that board, to warp that board. Because what Half Shark basically does is puts Ryan in the unenviable position of deciding whether he wants to let Hayden grab actions for that, and start to kind of collect more victory and more strength that way.
Oof, that Zeus is a big one. That Zeus is a
Yes.
very good draw. We'll give him an answer to this Maui Shark, which a moment ago he did not have.
Yes.
So yeah, he's thinking about how he wants to best proceed with this turn here. I mean, it's tough, right? Because you want to sing Wheel if you draw it, but then if you don't, okay, yeah, he's gonna Zeus here, and then just hard cast the friends, I guess, and then he could always ink Wheel if he does draw the whole new world.
Yep.
Well, we also have Jafar, the lamp rather. So
Yes, we like lamp as Jafar draws. Well, Jafar will make that lamp able to draw 2, but then because of that, Jafar will gain 2 lore as well.
right,
And we see the friends. That's another 2 lore. And we just drew 2 strength of a Raging Fires.
Okay.
Interesting.
So Ryan
cross.
crawling back into this game. I mean, Hayden's got nothing in play. Ryan a second ago had pretty much no options, and now he's got a grip of cards that could potentially keep him in this game. And he's up to 7 lore off those 2 cards there. So not over. Don't say it's over till it's over. I know this has been kind of an off the track game here, but it looks like both players with the opportunity to take this home.
Yeah,
So
I ain't heard no bell. I don't know about you, but I have not heard one. So and Ryan, of course, is not going to let this thing slide. Ryan's going to fight with every inch that he can.
Sure.
And we see, inking of one of those strengths that was drawn. We do know the library is in effect here, so library will garner 1 more lore. And we're going to enter into a turn where Hayden's just got so much ink, so many options. Peter Pan immediately snapped to the table. Turn. Here it comes.
Here comes Maui Shark.
Here comes do. It's Shark Week, and that is a rush. Maui
you can see Ryan does not like that. He's not feeling great about that. And Hayden gets a card back. Potentially be prepared if he really needs to. Oh, he's gonna get friends. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe he's still thinking about it. It's like, what's the best card? All right, so he's gonna take a double glance at his hand.
Yeah.
Hayden just deciding, all right, what's the situation here? All right, so he does take a friends back.
Which, I mean, Ryan lost that huge tempo swing of a Jafar for gaining lore.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Hayden's got the ability to slow the game down a little bit, and slowly get towards that 20. Of course, we're moving the characters into the library, get those characters more value in case we're able to deal with the shark, which of course is going to be high priority target for Ryan for banishment. Choosing to quest with that Chernobog's followers, opting to use it. And what do we draw? Well, a card that he probably wish he had a turn earlier.
A little late on the whole new world here. That's tough to see. We are getting down to the last minute and a half here of the game, so I think we should have more than enough time to close it out between this time and turns. But yeah, that's definitely a tough pill to swallow that we drew that. We could have drawn that many turns earlier, but that's the way it goes, right? This is a card game. We do have variance as we go ahead and we shift. Potential whole new world sing here. We won't get any lore off it though, so that doesn't feel great. All right, so we do manage to snipe off this Maui Shark here. But now what? Are we singing? Are we questing? All right. Okay. We're going to do a little questorino.
Okay.
Or rather, singerino.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's 7 new cards, but I don't like it. I don't like it
one bit, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Well, there are a lot of cards in Hayden's discard pile.
Yeah, there is. There really is. I mean, we've seen 3 half sharks in there.
Yeah, Ryan just got a full deck profile looking through that discard pile. I mean, everything that Hayden's discard rather is very stacked.
Yeah.
So let's see here. All right, we're gonna do. All right. Looking through the 7. Sorry, I'm looking at both hands, trying to see what both players scooped up here. Hayden does get his hands on a Pirate's Life. I haven't seen a goat, man. I'd be very, very surprised to not see goats, but
I mean, like I said, I've seen this build without them. I've seen this build.
That's crazy that we're in a time and place that we're cutting goats, right?
Well, if you think about it, the goats are kind of in the spot of that the Maui Half Shark is in, because Maui Half Shark's able to collect lore just for existing by playing actions. So, you start to think about, well, do I need a goat if I have this?
Yeah, and you do have Pirate's Life and stuff. I get it, but I know it's still like a crazy thought to me, to my, my petty, not my petty, my little amateur purple brain is like snake,
your
goat,
smooth brain,
snake, goat, rabbit, wind, fox.
Yeah, Skinner's got what we call a smooth brain.
Smooth brain.
No bumps or lumps.
My mom says I'm perfect. Okay.
No bumps or lumps.
All right, let's see here. Ryan doing a little spread out, saying, okay, how many of these? How many of those? As Maui comes down to the table, and Maui is going to come in and clean up.
Just
this Robin Hood.
How many times has Ryan seen a character come down that gets immediate use, that deals with an answer right away? I mean, just multiple times this game.
When you're playing against red purple, right? And then we see this Ursula making another appearance here. I'm curious how this card's been performing for him today. It's pretty huge here.
Yeah.
That's a cool addition. I mean, both of us being green purple players, we obviously have our own experiences with Ursula. Being able to shift her is really nice. But
I love her.
But Hayden just says, forget. I'm not even going to shift here. I'm just going to play a 7-drop Ursula.
Yeah.
And it seems to be doing pretty good right now.
I would agree. I mean, this is a character that can sing Be Prepared in case you want to save that 7 to potentially play other characters on a Be Prepared turn. So I mean, there's reasons to have a 7-cost character in a Ruby Amethyst deck. To be fair,
gives me flashbacks to when we used to play 8-drop Ursula. That used to just draw a card. Was it 8-drop or 7-drop Ursula? I know she was a 2/8.
Oh my goodness!
And she used to draw a card and drain a lore from your opponent or whatever.
You're asking me to recall a time from like a year ago.
I'm sure chat's yelling at me, but we're not looking at chat at the moment. So
sorry, chat. Well, I mean, we could.
We could. They're probably just telling us right now.
They're like, dude, it's this one.
Yeah, they're not telling us yet, so you could Google it. I'm sure they'll know in just a moment.
Yeah.
What is it, chat? Ursula 7-drop. There it is.
Yes.
There it is. That's the one.
You get bonus points.
It's a 2/8. That's why I got confused with the drop. It's because it's a 2/8 stat line.
Yes. You get bonus points if you can tell me the sub name of that card. There you go.
All right. I think that this train is about to crash into its final destination here, as Hayden is at 15 with Ursula. Ryan is racking his brain. He's got a lot of cards in hand, but it's going to be pretty tricky here.
Yeah, I mean, you're not kidding. Tricky is an understatement. We are in turns right now, by the way, just to be clear.
Yeah, I'm sure that we have more than enough time to wrap this up. But I would hate to see this go to a draw after all the chaos that's ensued during this series.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
These players probably don't even realize. They'll watch this back later and be like, "Oh my god, like what the hell happened?" But it's all right. Right now they're in the zone, and Ryan's trying to figure out a way to not drop this game here to Hayden.
Yeah. I mean, when we think about what can happen here, you got to think about the collection of cards in hand. When you're in turns, it is possible to still win. You got to put the things down. You got to think about what do you quest, and then sometimes you are playing not to win when you're in turns. Sometimes you're playing just not to lose.
Sure.
And so you have to identify like where are you at when you're in turns at a tournament? Are we playing for the win, or am I playing for the draw? And either one is viable.
Yep, this Jafar does pick up some rush off the Peter Pan and is able to rush in and take out the opposing Peter Pan. Hayden does get a card off the library.
Yeah.
Pan will come in and clean up the Maui, and he will get a little quest in, but Ursula plus library is 4 lore, and that will take us to 19.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
And I'm pretty sure Pirate's Life is in the hand.
Can you imagine if there was a goat too?
Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
Pirate's Life.
Yeah, snapping the goats. Yeah, showing Ryan that the game is in fact over.
GG, red purple back better than ever. I don't know about better than ever, but back, definitely back. And that Ursula really